Yes, it is, Chair. Also, regarding the retaining by the Empire, and look, thank you for letting me speak. I've just joined the meeting briefly today just to fly the flag for, I think, the need to get this work done. Now, Louise, as my ward colleague, has touched on some of the issues associated with it. I think the concern that this work may never actually be done, that is certainly a concern that's held by a number of residents who I think understandably have cynically come to the conclusion now that it's been shut for, I think it's about 8 years. The closure was initially expected to be temporary. So how much longer is a temporary 8-year closure going to last? It is really disappointing. I said the steps were initially closed 8 years ago. In fact, concerns were first raised about the integrity of the retaining wall 10 years ago. And we're still in this position where this path hasn't been reopened. I think, as the business case makes clear, it provides a safer route of access for pedestrians coming down from Great Orme into the town and vice versa. Some members may be familiar with the rather tight corner at the bottom of Teaguin Road, which some members of the public don't feel is particularly safe. I think the Deputy Leader has touched on some private land issues involved. My understanding is that those aren't anything new. They're things that the council was affair with and has been affair with for a number of years. I remember talking to Delith Jones when she was the Chief Legal Officer some years ago when the council clarified its position. So that'll certainly be before the current Chief Exec joined the authority, I expect 2021 or 2022. So it is disappointing it has taken this long. I appreciate everything that's been said. In respect of in the grand scheme of things from a Conway-wide perspective, members may not see it as a high priority, but it does need to be done. I think, as Louise has touched on, there is this feeling that it will never be done. And I'd also point out in your business case, it talks about you've got the potential to collaborate with the Empire Hotel with a private stakeholder. I wonder how much longer that potential will be there for if the council continues to defer. So I really encourage the committee and cabinet, when they look at this, to look at including it. I appreciate it's a big ask, but it's an important ask that should be dealt with. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Harry. Councillor Mike, you wanted to come back in, and we've got Mally online after this.
Yeah, just quickly, Harry. I think we've just heard the head of service saying that we might be able to look at a different approach, and whether that's working alongside the private sector or whatever. I'm more than happy to explore that further. As I say, forever is a long time, but it's something that I'm happy to take away from. Can't promise anything on it, whether it, but as I say, is $1.5 million is an awful amount of money. And as I say, it's entirely up to the democratic process and priorities. But with the head of service saying, let's have a look at it slightly different. I think as I speak, Gwyn in infrastructure, Gwyn in our infrastructure team, consultancy can look at that, and then maybe we can come to the table with something different. But that's something I can take away from this meeting.